Greetings folks, and welcome to a video that has been a long time coming. See, those of you who have been around this channel for quite a while, in the basically video everyday era of this channel, the bored teenager era of this channel, a previous job, I had found an NEC Versa 6030X. Now, this laptop was in extraordinarily sorry condition, which is probably part of the reason why I was able to make off with it. The other part of the reason being that it was a Pentium, and even back then, those things were pretty much on their way out. I say that like it was a long time ago. I mean, this was only maybe 10 years ago. Actually, I'm sorry, no, it would have been almost 15 years ago now. Wow, I'm getting old. Well, you know what they say, aging's all in the mind, and the mind's the first thing that goes. But back to the subject at hand, I had an NEC Versa 6030X. It was in absolutely terrible condition. I made a lot of videos with that thing. And the more I used it, the more it fell apart. Until eventually one day, you know, the hinge over here was never in good shape. This one finally broke free, and that was pretty much the end of that. And every time you opened it, a new thing would break. It would creak like crazy. And I'm pretty sure that machine was haunted, which is a very odd thing to say because, you know, it's superstition. I usually don't generally believe in that kind of stuff, but that computer had a penchant for powering itself on at random when I wasn't anywhere near it. I think it even did that once or twice on a video. That'd probably be well explained by perhaps the power switch being faulty, or maybe something wrong with the power control logic, but I don't know. You never know. The person whose desk that machine came from, they had retired, I think 2 years before I started, and passed away the same year that I picked up that laptop. So again, you never know. I wanted to find another example of the species, because it was a nice laptop. And it was a Pentium 133, pretty common CPU for the time. But it was a very nice laptop, it had a very nice feature set, and I couldn't find one. Certainly not for a reasonable price. I got it close. I know I made a video, I think, of an NEC Versa 6030. I picked that up. That was destroyed in shipping. And I was super upset about that. I did get my money back after involving eBay, but I won't talk about that any further because, again, it's not the point of the video. Usually when you find things like this on eBay, they are beyond overpriced. Like, I don't know, there's no way, no how that a Pentium laptop is worth $300. Even these days. Like, I understand things appreciate in value. I understand they're harder to find, especially in this mandatory recycling world, which I think is a farce, but we won't go there either. At the great risk of pulling the tablecloth of political pylons right on top of my head. I think that it's a complete farce. It's false economy. Far better to reuse something than it is to destroy it and expend the energy to destroy it. But again, that's about as far into that as I'm going to go. Finally, I had found this. Now, this would have been overpriced too. Or maybe it wasn't this one. I don't remember which one this one was. I don't remember if this one was the one that I put the opening bid of 50 cents on, or if this was the one that I made the lowball offer of. I think I gave him 15 bucks. Lowball offer. This was a long time ago too. So this was like easily well over 2 years ago. Again, nothing quite like that getting things done spirit. So it was either the $15 offer that was accepted, or it was the 50-cent opening bid that won. And either way, again, it's a price that you just don't pay for things on eBay anymore, because prices have just gone through the roof. It's not really what I was looking for, but it's close enough. Taking a look at the machine, again, if you remember that 6030X, the front of it looks basically exactly the same. I'm not sure if the 6030X had an infrared, or what I believe is a microphone port on the front. The optical drive is a little bit different, but I just assume that that's because it's a different manufacturer. Whatever part that NEC happened to be using at the time. This basically looks the same. There's the PC card slots. there is actually, believe it or not, a CF card adapter. The PCMCIA card slots. I'm going to leave that out because there's no card in it. So it's not really strictly necessary. Come to the back, you can see this thing is basically in perfect condition. Well, almost. There are definitely some scratches on it, but for a laptop of this age with this kind of plastic, this is far and away better than what my 6030X was. It's got VGA and serial. The latch is a little bit messed up. This is actually for the docking station, which I don't know about you, but I've never seen a docking station for one of these. PS2 parallel. On this side, there's the DC input. What I presume maybe an output for some cooling vents, or maybe the speaker. Oh, I thought that was a modem. It's a USB port. I don't think the 6030X had that either. I think the 6030X was a little bit older. Kensington lock there. But you've got your microphone, your line input. Yes, this is back when laptops had line inputs, and a headphone out, and of course, the speaker connection. We'll go ahead and we'll open it here. And I might want to be careful because I don't remember what condition the hinges are on this. But they're obviously not too bad. Now you can see there's some wear on the keyboard. So it's certainly been used. This one actually has a Pentium MMX. See there. As opposed to the regular Pentium. This also is a slightly lower end display. It's still TFT color, so it still would have been quite expensive back in the day, but it's only 800 by 600 resolution. Some people have asked what this is. This is a suspend switch. There's the power switch right there. We'll flip that a little bit later. Brightness control there for the screen. And it's only got a brightness control, which is dead giveaway that this is a active matrix TFT display as opposed to a passive matrix one. Two speakers. Speaker there, speaker there. So we'll go and we'll close that, and we'll take a look at the underside. Yeah, it's upside down. NEC V6060 series. There's the model and serial number. Used with ADP74 power adapter. I think I got the power supply with this too, but I can't remember. This eject is, I believe, for the optical drive. And this lock button would also be for the optical drive. So you push that over and then push this back and it will release the optical drive. You could put a floppy in there. Underneath this door is the battery. It's actually a lithium-ion battery. I'm kind of surprised to see that. I thought that it would have been a nickel metal hydride or an NiCad. I think the 6030X had a NiCad battery. And of course, last but not least, underneath this door, if I can open it here, not easy, is the hard drive. 2.1 gigabyte. Again, I think that was bigger than what the 6030X had. I think the 6030X had a 1.3 gigabyte drive. Let me see if I can put that back on. Now, see, all of that's cool, but there's really nothing special about this laptop otherwise. Let me show you what's special about this. I kid you not. The battery is good. Still works. Now, how good the battery is remains to be seen. I've never really done a test. But given it's a lithium-ion battery, it shouldn't have the same problems that the NiCads do with respect to memory and other things such as that. This is a slightly different setup utility. It's AMI BIOS. I think the other one was a Phoenix. Date and time is not quite correct. But, you know, it's reasonably close. Close enough for government work. 16 megabytes of RAM. That hard drive's been upgraded. See, it shows up as 8063, so it's no longer a 2.1 gigabyte drive. Who knows what size it is. It looks like this would actually go up to the year 2099. There's some advanced stuff. Boots to A first, although there is no floppy drive plugged into this. I suppose that would matter more for the docking station. Boot up USB configuration. Select disabled for operating systems that do not support USB. So basically that's a USB enabled disable. LCD panel view expansion. What this does, if I turn it on, if I can turn it on, I remember how to page up, page down. Basically what that's going to do is that enables the scaler on the display. I think I'll leave it off though. So this screen here would then be expanded to fill the screen all the way instead of basically the small video that you see now. Rudimentary power management. I don't know if this qualifies as APM compatible. Almost certainly is not ACPI compatible. Standard configuration options. Parallel port is in ECP mode. Basically reset to default. Save and exit. We will exit without saving. Invalid hibernation partition file. Run HD prep EZ. Oh, good heavenly days. Windows 98 on 16 megabytes of memory? Are you kidding me? Oh, man. Well, that's actually not bad. Oops. Daylight savings time. January 3rd, 11:04 p.m. Well, it's not that late. It's actually 9:54 right now. But we'll leave it alone. We'll let it think that's what the time is. A little bit of a dirty control there. This looks like a fairly fresh installation. I'll let it catch up to itself here. Yeah, almost certainly a fresh installation. I wonder how high up the volume is on this. Oh, that's all the way. So yeah, the speakers are not really all that great on this. Of course, they weren't really all that great on the 6030X either. And I think these ones work a little better. Okay, I opened up the system properties dialog and some very interesting things are going on here. First of all, check out what that says right there. So I don't know what that's all about, because this is very definitely Windows 98. Device manager, nothing really unknown here. CD-ROM's a Toshiba. I don't think it really matters where I put the camera. The macro doesn't work very well on it. Hard drive. It's got a Neo Magic Graph 128XD in it. That was a pretty common chip back then for these, particularly the NECs. Intel hard drive controller. Default monitor. It's got a dial-up adapter in it, which is funny because I didn't see a connection for a modem. Card bus compatible PCM-CIA controller. And looks like ESS audio drive audio. So, a decent configuration. See if we can do anything with this. I don't know that there's very much on this machine. It looks like I said, it looks like it's a fairly standard installation. I remember this trackpad not being very good. And I think that's certainly still true, even now, because, yeah, it's kind of a little difficult to use. Just a little bit. But it works. For small values of working. Just like the battery. I can't believe that this thing is actually holding a charge still. Oh. Something just happened. Wonder if maybe it's getting ready to shut off here. Or maybe it just locked up. Well, that's a Windows 98-ism, that's for sure. Let me see if I can recover. Improper shutdown. One or more of your disks may have errors on it. Now ScanDisk is going to make it worse. I don't know. Maybe it worked for somebody. Certainly never worked for me. Alright. Let's try again now that I have a camera that's working. Let's try clicking on my computer again. Last time I did this, it ran one end of itself straight into the other. It might have been because it's trying to hibernate. Because I guess maybe that battery is not quite as good as the indicator says that it is. How big is this hard drive? Well, it might be about 8 gigabytes. That, or it's only showing 8 gigabytes and it's only formatted for 8 gigabytes. Sometimes you can get away with that. As long as the disk geometry that's presented by Windows is the same as the disk geometry that's presented by the BIOS. Or, I probably could have phrased that a little better. As long as the disk geometry that Windows thinks you've got, the installer thinks you have, and the disk geometry that you're booting from in the BIOS is reasonably close to the same, you can usually get away with that. At 225 megabytes, this is probably a pretty close to bone stock install. So, don't really know why it ran one end of itself into the other. I'm not sure if this is Windows 98 First Edition or Windows 98 Second Edition. Might be Second Edition because I don't see the channel bar. Yeah, it did it. Although given there's nothing in it, I believe that it's safe to say that this is Windows 98 Second Edition. Still don't know why it says Windows Me when you turn it on, or Windows Me in my computer. That's kind of weird. Yeah, it doesn't really have much. Doesn't even have any of the games installed. So, just a basic, bog standard install of Windows 98, which it will not be keeping. I'm not going to be keeping Windows 98 on this machine. We can maybe customize it a little bit. Wonder if it's even got the additional screensavers. No, it doesn't. The channel screensaver. I remember this being kind of fun to look at. See if it'll work, or if it just ran one end of itself right into the other. I'm pretty sure that's not what that's supposed to do. Of course, my personal favorite was always the flying windows. Put the maximum number of flying windows on there. Let's see how this system does it. Well, that's not too bad. Some machines really don't like it when you do that. But yeah, this battery is really the best part of the computer. Still working. Hard to believe. By the way, this suspend button, I don't know if it'll actually work because it gave me that error about the hibernation file, but let's see what it does when we press it. It has gone into sleep mode, as you can see there. You get a blinking light. You press it again, system comes back. Let's see if Windows 98 could handle that. Open up Internet Explorer. Oh! Wow. I don't know if that's because I put it into suspend mode or... Oh, geez. Yeah, Windows is done again. Might be a memory problem with this machine. I don't know. Or some other hardware issues. Yeah, I don't think we're recovering from that. Alright, let's try Internet Explorer again. I still can't believe that battery is holding up. Displays pages on the World Wide Web. Oh no. Yeah, I don't want this. Because I think there's a way to bypass this, if I remember what it actually was. Or maybe I'll just go through with it. We will need to install a modem. I don't really feel like going through that. I'll see if I can get around this problem. Alright, you open up IE, that gets around it. Or sorry, if you open up Windows Update, that gets around it. Let's see what version this is. Oh, it's actually Internet Explorer 5. So there's been some updates applied to this. Thought it was going to run one end of itself into the other there again. Yeah, let's take a look here. 256 color at 800 by 600. It looks like it would extend beyond that, but I'm pretty sure that when I do this, what will happen, yes, is we'll get a screen that we can then scroll in order to see it. It doesn't compact it or anything like that. I don't want to keep that setting because I hate that. I don't think we can go above true color. We'll try it. I am not going to restart the computer either. I'm just going to apply it without restarting. It's already crashed several times. What could go wrong? Alright, well, claims we're running in true color. But I'm not too sure. That doesn't look like true color to me. None of the icons changed or anything like that. See if we can change the background here. I don't think this version of Windows has. No, I don't want center. Why would we center that? I want to tile that. I used to have a couple laptops set up like this with the black thatch. I know I've also used bubbles, which is the best background ever, and if you disagree then you're wrong. I thought this had forest, but it does not have forest. There's the pinstripes, which you can't really see. If I put it into stretch mode, you might actually be able to see it a little better. That's what it looks like. Straw mat. I used to actually run a system like this. It almost looks like a disk defragmenting tool in a way. Of course, there's the web page, Windows 98. which I don't think we can do because I'm not running the active desktop right now. There's waves, triangles. There's another one that I've used in the past. I think it looks kind of neat. But I think at this point I'm just rambling on. So it's almost interesting to see just how long this this battery will actually last. Wonder if I can get through the entire video. I'm gonna open up Notepad here. I don't have a tripod, so typing is going to be fun, but we can maybe give a little bit of a sample of the typing on this keyboard. Not too bad. See if there's anything we can open. Probably not. I'd wager to bet that there's probably nothing in the media folder either. This isn't Windows 95. Didn't come with a million MIDIs. And it doesn't look like anybody's really installed anything on this. Be interested to know if this has FM synthesis on it. Just FM, or if it's also got wavetable, but yeah, like I said, there's no MIDI for me to test that with. Suppose we could look. I don't see anything there. I don't think it's under there in Windows 98. I don't remember. Take a look on the control panel here. It's probably under multimedia. Yeah, there it is. Alright, yeah, that gives me more options. That's what we saw before. Under video, there's MIDI. Yep, it does only have FM, or the MPU 401, although there's no MPU 401 interface on this. I guess you'd have to have the docking station in order to use that. It does have GS wavetable, the Microsoft, which I think is based on a Roland synthesizer of some kind. I don't remember which Roland sound canvas it actually used. Anyway, CD music. Not much really else to say. I'm just amazed that the battery works. So, I think at this point, I am going to go ahead and shut it down. Yeah, that'll be it for that. That sound always actually used to give me nightmares. I don't really know why. There's no rhyme or reason for it. But even now, there's something about it that just makes the hairs. It makes the hairs on the back of my neck stand up. I don't know. Another one of those unexplainable things. We'll go ahead and shut this down. This is probably going to get Windows 95 of some description. I know I ran Windows 3.1 on the 6030X. Really, that system was too new for Windows 3.1. I only installed 3.1 on it. Actually, I don't even really remember why I installed 3.1 on it. Just that I did. It was probably because it was one of the few laptops I had at the time that was really old enough to run something that old. But, anyway. Let's go ahead and we'll close this out. That battery's still holding on. I'll go ahead and I'll let it get a full charge. What if it ran one end of itself into the other again? Nope, not yet. I wonder if I'm going to have to force the issue. I don't think I had to force the issue with it before. Alright, I'm not keeping 98 on this anyway. So I don't really care that much.